Right guys, okay, so today we are in Horsforth Test Centre, we are on a driving test route, we are observing any mistakes of how you should be conducting your driving. So we've made sure it's safe, we've done our all-round observations, we will be moving off in a few moments. If there's a vehicle coming behind you, like this car was now, you'd make sure he's gone past you before you move off. Again, you do your effective observations, you would only signal when you are actually moving off. So you wouldn't keep your signal on for more than a few seconds. While you're doing that on your driving test, make sure that the vehicles in front have moved off, and if they haven't moved off, they could potentially move off at the same time because you're all doing the same test route together. So we're making sure it's safe, we're looking ahead, we can see the white car coming, we'll slow down, potentially stop if we need to, or reduce our speed and slowly go past. Now that for me was too close, that was a clearance mistake. I would assume on her driving test. As we're following the road ahead, the speed's good. We're going around 20, 21, 22 miles an hour. We check our mirrors again, make sure it's safe. We look in our rear view mirror and our right door mirror just in case somebody's overtaken us on the bend. We observe the sign telling us we're approaching a crossroad, a junction, and we should be taking the next road on the right. So we check our mirrors here, signal right, get close to the line, look out for the number 16 coming down from the top of Broadgate Lane, but we stop where we should do, or if it's safe we continue without stopping. She stopped in a good place, she looks in her right door mirror, she comes into the new road, she looks for the bus coming down the road, and if it's not coming she'll carry on. Now this road is narrow, so you need to make sure that you're travelling at a slower pace than you usually would be. The speed limit on this road is 30, but around 15-16 at the moment would be reasonable. As we're following the road ahead, we're then looking at the white van. Speed's good, we are going to do a pull up on the left here, so mirror signal and we're pulling up on the left. I would have pulled up a little bit further along the road, I would have pulled up where the pavement has gone white. But it's good enough, it's perfectly fine. So you'll put the car into park, handbrake up, or in neutral, handbrake up, feet off the pedals. The examiner will then ask you to move on when you're ready. Again, you'd check your mirrors, signal right, all-round observations, blind spot check, and then you would move off. So we're now going to move off when it's safe to do so. So she's checked her mirrors, signal right, blind spot check, she's moved off. Now usually Broadgate Lane is the road that you will be doing your parking up on the right. Again, we need to stop because there's two cars coming down the road. She'll look in her right door mirror. She'll then move off, paying attention to that lady on the side, by the side of the van. Again, we're looking along the road, looking at any vehicles coming towards us, especially the number 16 bus. Now we can see the car coming out, so we're looking at our rear view mirror. We will now be doing possibly a park up on the right. Speed's good. So now checking our mirrors, signaling right blind spot check, and we would possibly end up doing a park up on the right here. So mirrors, signal, blind spot check, come across, stop where that telegraph post is. She stops a little bit too early, but she stops perfectly fine. I would have pushed the car a little further up, like she's doing now, to straighten it up. And I would have stopped when this vehicle was approaching me exactly like she's done now. And now I'd park the car, handbrake on into neutral, feet off the pedals, and then examiner will ask me to reverse 2 spaces, staying close to the curb. So check my mirrors, signal right, in reverse, keep my right signal on, make sure no vehicle is coming from ahead of me, and make sure that the road is wide enough for the vehicles behind me to go past me in the lane on the left. So nice and slow, nice and gentle, as she's doing now. So she's not going over 1 mile an hour, it's literally pushing your shopping trolley in Morrison's. That's 2 car spaces, she stopped, into park, handbrake on, feet off the pedals, or in park, in neutral, handbrake on, feet off the pedals. She's then asked to move off when it's safe to do so. So mirrors, signal left, all round observations including her left and right blind spot. And then at the point that she's leaving, she would then signal to move off. Now quick blind spot check, straighten the car and then look to the top of the road building up speed, looking in the rear view mirror, travelling at an appropriate speed. Appropriate speed, 20, 21, 22 at the moment is fine. The reason for that is if you increase to 30, where you can see, I believe it's the big white van, the speed limit drops to 20 again. So she's pulling up on the left again, so mirrors signal, and she's pulling up nice and gentle, nice and close to the curb, and that is perfect parking. So she'll either stop behind this car ahead of us, or she would have stopped further back. Now the reason why she's stopping within one car spaces of the car in front, she'll be doing an angle start. So she's pulled up, and then she's going to move off from behind this silver coloured car. So she's checked her mirrors. She's not going to signal yet because it's not necessary. If there's lots of vehicles going past you, your signal's classed as a begging signal, so it's not really necessary. So she's checked her mirrors, and at the point that she's going to go, she's then going to signal right. And now she observes the new speed limit, which is 2020, and she'll follow the road ahead. So we're following the road ahead. We can see the speed limit is good. So it's 20 and we're travelling around 14. That's not a bad speed that she's travelling at, and if you notice, she's going past cars in a straight line, which is good. Now we're checking our mirrors. We're moving the car to the right, and we're following the road ahead. We're now looking in our rear view mirror, making sure it's safe. We're keeping an eye on the man on the right, and we should be following the road to the end. As we're following the road ahead, one point you should note is the number 16 bus. It pulls up on the right where that car's approaching you from, where you can see that car now. It's usually parked on the right where the bus stop is. So we're following the road ahead. And we're looking our right door mirror as we're going over the line. We keep this position as we're going past the cars on the left. We don't want to get too close. Your driving examiner will now say to you, at the end of the road, turn left. So we're not turning left where this learner car's gone. The learner car's gone down Town Street, where I believe we're going to go to the end and turn left. So the learner car's gone on a different test route, we're on a different one. We can see the speed limit now going into 30, and we're looking at positioning the car as close as we can to the left in a 45-degree angle. There we are. She looks over her right shoulder, make sure it's safe. Once it is safe, she's got left signal on, and once it's safe, she'll come into the road and then she'll turn left. As a clue to when it's safe to go, you'll see them cars moving from ahead of you. Now we're looking at our right door mirror and we straddle the line. Like she's doing now, she's on the line, and she's doing that to stay away from the parked vehicles on the left. Also pay attention to the crossings. There's one that comes up very, very soon, and it's one that usually catches people out, so watch out for people standing by the crossing where that car was. Make sure it's clear. Look in your rear view mirror just in case it's been triggered. Right mirror check again, move more to right. We can see the next crossing, it's on red, and we're looking at our rear view mirror just in case there's a car coming behind us at speed, turning in towards Morrison's. So we can see the crossing, it's clear, nobody's waiting, nobody's pushed the button, and we'll continue following the road ahead. Speed's good, she's travelling at 25 miles an hour. It's a safe speed to be travelling along this road. We check our right door mirror again just to make sure it's safe, make sure nobody's going past us, and if they are, we're aware of them overtaking us. We can see the next crossing, it's on green. We're looking at our rear view mirror. This looks like a busy junction on the left, and it's where that learner car will be coming out from in a few moments. So that white learner car that overtook us, it'd be coming out from this junction. I believe we could be turning left or turning right at these traffic lights. If we're turning left, we're going to go down towards Kirkstall. Now I would have slowed my car down a little more than this because she's quite close to the parked cars. So I would have slowed down even more. If she's travelling at 14 miles an hour, I'd be doing it at less than 10. Now we can see the position of the car negates that she's in the centre of the lane. That means she's got an option of both, but it looks like she's aligned with the white van ahead of her. That means she could possibly be turning right, because if she was turning left, she'd be behind the white coloured car on the left. So let's see which way she's positioning. It looks like she's slowly moving to the left. Nope, she's moving to the right. That's good. That means she's turning right at the junction. We can see the flow markings and she's keeping them clear. That's excellent driving, good observations and excellent forward planning. So we can see the sign ahead of us telling us where we need to go. So we're looking at the traffic lights. With these traffic lights, there is a secondary traffic light after the first. So as you turn right, you'll see another set of traffic lights. They're immediately after the first set of traffic lights. It's very rare that you get caught out. The lights have changed. You can see the learner car that I was referring to. That learner car is possibly taking the Kirkstall route. We are possibly taking the airport, or we're going down towards Kirkstall from a different direction. We can see the lights are still on red, but his filter has turned green. His filter's gone amber, and now he's gone red. That means very soon our lights will go green, but our lights will only go green when the traffic ahead of us on our left stops moving. So now she's checked her mirrors, she's signalled right, she's travelling at safe speed. She's also watching the vehicles in front just in case they start braking heavily. If they do, go into lane 2. So we're watching what she's doing. She's in lane 1. That is a correct procedure. However, if there was traffic building in lane 1 and the lights went red, she'd move into lane 2. It's just easier. So now that she's in the left lane, I believe she's following the sign for Leeds, which is exit number 1. So it's left first exit on the roundabout. If she was following the signs for the airport, she'd be in lane 2 and she'd have a signal on as well. So she's turning left at the roundabout, first exit, I believe. This is a signal controlled, traffic light controlled roundabout, or what we call the horse roundabout, or the wooden horse. So it's a roundabout controlled by traffic lights. So at the signal control roundabout, left first exit would be the instruction from the driving examiner. Now we can see the white car ahead of us not positioned correctly, but we're not too worried about him. So we've checked our mirrors, we've got our left signal on. So even though it's signal control, we still make sure that we have our signal on. The lights are going amber, they're going to go red, the red. So she slows down and then she'll come to a gentle stop. So we can see this crossing. It was already red when she was approaching. She stopped. Now she checks her mirrors, especially her right door mirror, just in case she's been overtaken by a cyclist. Now she's approaching an area where really she needs to be careful, especially if there's any vehicles parked near the cafe. So she checks her mirrors and she'll move her car closer to the line like she's doing now. So she's away from parked cars. She needs to remain, we can see the next set of traffic lights going red. Now she needs to keep the junction open or stop at the line. There's the bus I was referring to. Possibly another bus coming up very soon as well. Checks her inside mirror and her door mirrors again, especially her right door mirror. Now this is the area where she needs to be careful, especially if there's an oncoming lorry or if there's an oncoming bus. She's travelling at 24, 25 miles an hour, which is reasonable. I'd drop it to about 21, 22. It's very narrow in this area, especially cars on either side. Now she needs to keep an eye on the next crossing, which isn't far from where she is now, and then look in a rear view mirror, regardless of what colour the traffic lights are, just in case it's been triggered. Now she's travelling at 27 miles an hour, 28, which is a good speed. I'd go a little bit slower though. The reason for that is we're approaching another crossing. That person's walked across and it's muscle memory that they would push the button. You'll see that the speed's dropped to 25, 26. I would have dropped it a little early, but it's good. It's good forward plan. As we're going ahead, we can see these white marks on the floor. They're for speed cameras. They establish your speed. So we know the speed limit 30. We're following the road ahead. We can see a speed camera on the left hand side, and we can see a very awkward junction on the left. and we can see the pedestrian crossing. Speed limit still 30. We look in our rear view mirror, and these lines are representing speed camera markings, that's all, nothing else. We can see a cycle lane on the left. Now we can see the speed limit going to 40, and we can see the speed slowly increasing, doing 37, 38, 39. We're doing 39 miles, which is a good speed, now going back to 38, 36. Now we're approaching a very busy set of traffic lights, and we can see the lights on red. Or did I just make that up? And we should be turning left at these lights. We're slowing down, Should be braking a little harder than that. And that's a beautiful stop. So we're turning left at these lights. We've checked our mirrors, signal on. We've got a cycle lane on the left, so we need to look into our left blind spot. Quick check as we come into the, and possibly parking up on the left anywhere here. So just after the junction, she may be pulling up somewhere on the left. So it's mirrors and signal, looking for somewhere to park just before the white car has a space, before the red car has a space. Make sure you don't park on the pavement, which is illegal, and it's not permitted on this road, so you must park on the road. So check your mirrors, signal left, but don't startle the pedestrian, the person that's walking on, along the pavement. When she stops, she's not going to stop alongside the car on the right, because she'd be holding traffic back, and that will be marked down on her driving test. She's then asked to move off when she's ready. Again, she'll check her mirrors, signal right blind spot check, and move off like she normally would do outside the test centre. So now she'll be checking her mirrors, signalling right, and making sure it's safe to go. And if she leaves the signal on for more than 5 seconds, cancel, reapply. Now she's coming into an area where she needs to slow the car down and make sure she's travelling at a reduced constant speed, and watch out for cars like this black one that has waited for others, where she would have to wait for the learner car to come down like she's doing now. That is excellent driving. It's very considerate. That learner car was waiting for the 2 white vans, wasn't waiting for her. She was not part of that cluster, so she would have to wait, let them cars go through, then commence her journey. Speed's good. Traffic on either side, that's stationary, meaning parked vehicles. The speed is excellent. You're travelling at 21, 22 miles an hour, which is good. She's got a sign on the left telling her to give way to oncoming cars, nobody coming, and then right mirror check just in case she's been overtaken by an e-scooter or an electric vehicle or whatever. The next one will be for her to go through and the opposite side to give way, but they mustn't have changed direction before she goes through. And we can see she's slowing down. And the reason for that is they're coming through, they're already committed. That is excellent driving on her behalf. Again, we reduce our speed as we're going through. Right mirror check. We're approaching a high density roundabout, so her speed is good. She's travelling at 15, 16 miles an hour. It's telling us it's a sharp bend on the left and new road layout. So we need to make sure there's nobody coming from her right or from inside the residential complex that you can see ahead of you. So she looks to her right with her left signal on. She then turned left. I beg your pardon. She's turning right at the roundabout. So mirrors and signal right. She's watching out for the local bus. When the bus appears, she must reduce her speed considerably, or else she'll end up bumping into the driver. So here you'd be expected, if you see the bus, to reduce your speed to less than 10. Especially if your vehicle's wide, and you can see we're taking up almost a whole lane in our car. Usually the bus would appear on your right from where we are now. And it's a local bus that comes out and turns left and it goes up towards the test centre. So it'd come out from this junction over here, where that grey vehicle is now. We then have another giveaway over here that we need to watch out for, the mirrors. We reduce our speed if there's any oncoming vehicle, but there's none, so we can continue. Then come back into our lane, so that line is on your right. Continue following the road ahead. We're aware that the speed limit is 20, so we're not going to travel at a higher speed. So 15, 16, 17 is perfectly fine. You'll also come across some bushes, some road bumps. make sure your speed's appropriate. And before you do reduce your speed, make sure you look in your rear view. So we're following the road ahead. And I believe at the roundabout, we should be turning right and going down Spen Lane. Speed is hovering 17, 18. Right mirror check. Go over the centre of the two bumps, it's easier. Rather than going over one bump. That was fine what she did, but I would have gone over both and had an equal sort of roll on, roll off the bump. As she's approaching the roundabout, the driving examiner would say at the roundabout, right, second exit. As she's approaching the roundabout, you can see the bus. You can also see it's very narrow. So it's reasonable for her to straddle the line in the middle. You can see she'll be doing it now in a few moments. She's reducing the speed and you can see the line under the middle of the car. And that's to help her navigate, go around the roundabout better. That way she won't get close to the pavement, and that was good driving. That was very reasonable what she did there. Exceptional circumstances require exceptional manoeuvrability or road positioning. She's now approaching another roundabout. This roundabout is quite open. She can see what she's doing. Speed limit is 30. She's travelling at a good speed. We can see the zebra crossing. Making sure nobody's standing there or approaching. Now looking at anybody turning right on the roundabout. We should be going ahead, I believe. We're watching the blue van. Right mirror check as well. And follow the road ahead. As we're following the road down, we'll soon approach another roundabout. My advice to you on that roundabout is to stop. The reason for that is the roundabout is on a closed junction and it's not safe for you to continue without making effective observations, and it's a very easy test fail. You'll see a sign in a few moments as we go down the hill. Once we go past that car that's just turned off, you'll see a sign on the left warning you of a roundabout, and you'll also see a telltale sign, and you'll see solid white lines on the floor, which we can see now. That means you're approaching a very dangerous bend. That sign is telling you you're approaching a roundabout, so reduce your speed. Them rubber strips are telling you or making you aware of your speed. That means you're approaching something that you can't see. So my advice to you is to stop at the roundabout. Once it's safe, then continue. You won't be marked down. And that's why you won't see the car, so you come to a gentle stop. Once it's safe and nobody's doing a U-turn, because this van is doing a U-turn at the roundabout. That's very rare, people do that. However, it's perfectly legal. And that would have caught out somebody that was inexperienced. So well done to this learner driver. We can see the flashing thing. It's telling you of the speed that you're travelling at, not the speed limit of the road that you're on. As we're following the road ahead, we can see the speed limit is 2020. Speed is excellent, 18 miles an hour. So we're doing 20 now, and I believe at the traffic lights we should be turning right. We can see with their position, she's very close to the centre line, which negates she will be turning right. So mirrors and signal, reduce speed, and we're stopping where the first line is now, where she is now. Now when the lights go green, the cars to her left and right will stop moving, but the cars in front of her will start moving. So the cars on the left and right, they will stop. The cars ahead of her, they will start moving. So she needs to move into the junction enough to navigate her turn, but also leave enough space for oncoming vehicles to turn to their right, which is to her left. So she'll very gently go into the junction because she's on a hill. She'll make sure her cars on the left are able to go past her, and as long as there's no oncoming car, right mirror check and gently go into a new road. When she goes into a new, now she's slightly close to the line for my liking there. I would have gone a bit more to the left there. I would have marked her down and give her a fault there for road positioning. Now we're turning right at the traffic lights. So not this is a crossing. After the crossing, we're going to come to a set of main lights. This is where lots of people in Leeds have accidents. So check our mirrors, signal right. Now we reduce our speed, go into the middle of the junction. Now we can turn, there's no oncoming. Now there's an oncoming vehicle, we must stop. After this car, she can now go. When she goes, all these cars must give way to her, but they've got to give way and she didn't. The speed limit is back to 40. As we're following the road ahead, I believe soon at a set of traffic lights we should be turning right. Let's see. So we're travelling at 34 miles an hour, very reasonable. Good lane positioning and constant speed. She's been taught very well. We're in the centre of our lane, just a little bit into the cycle lane there. Now a little bit more to the right, there we are. We're in the centre of our lane again, which is good driving. I believe the instruction should be somewhere around here, where the driving examiner should be saying to them, at the first traffic lights go ahead, at the second turn right, and they're in close proximity to each other. Meaning essentially they're very close to each other. The first lights are the lights for the train station. The second one is for the junction. So she'll check her mirrors. These are the first lights, which she won't signal yet. She'll reduce the speed somewhat. And now she'll check her mirrors, signal right, right mirror check, look at the floor markings, now go into her lane. Now the lights are green, so she'll go over the line and she'll make the turn. She's got a filtered green light. Now I'm going to let the video roll, but I'm going to explain something to you. Once you go over the white line and the lights are green, you continue with your journey if it's safe. If it's not safe because of an oncoming car, you'd wait in the middle. If the traffic light goes red, you would still need to clear the junction after the vehicle that you were waiting for has gone. So she's pulling up on the left. It's exactly the same place she did earlier on, but now she's on her way back to the test centre. We've gone through this before, so it's not an issue. So she's approaching the roundabout again. This time I believe it's the first exit left. So mirrors and signal, looking at the white car on the right, glancing over her shoulder as she's going over the white line. Quick look to her right, and then cancel the signal, follow the road ahead. The examiner will then give her an instruction at the roundabout ahead, second exit. So she'll be following where most of these cars will be going, but just make sure there's no oncoming car signalling right to do a U-turn. So the road on her left, that first exit left, is a busy road. You can see cars coming out of there. Then at the next roundabout, I believe it should be the second exit ahead. We can see a sign on the left telling us it's a very busy roundabout. So your decision has to be quick and it needs to be accurate. Positioning is good. She's close to the left. You can see her positioning and the Mercedes-Benz. Her positioning is much better, but the Mercedes-Benz has got their hazard lights on. So potentially it could have broke down. There we are, it's moving again. So we're looking over our right, making sure it's safe. And if it is, go on to the roundabout, keeping on the left, mirrors, signal left. We can check both our left mirror and right mirror. We have plenty of time to do both. Cancel the signal, inside mirror check. Continue going along the road. We're looking at that car that's on our left. And we're looking at the zebra crossing, making sure it's safe. In a rear view mirror again. And now the examiner is bringing her back to the test centre. So she'll be parking up somewhere on the left in close proximity to the test centre. It's usually near the chip shop. So the examiner is now asking her to find a safe place to pull up on the left, or he'll direct her and tell her, can you pull up in this specific place after the bus stop or after the junction. So he's asked her to pull up on the left anywhere here. Plenty of space, and she'll pull up here just before the junction. So mirrors and signal. Pulling up here, into park, into neutral, handbrake on. And then the examiner will ask her to turn the engine off. Once she's turned the engine off, the examiner will then remove the sat-nav if it's on, and then debrief her on her test and give her the result that she's been possibly wanting. And I believe the standard of driving actual driving app, that is a guaranteed test pass. So congratulations to Amber and to her pupil. Thank you very much for letting me review your video, and I believe your pupil has passed, and that is excellent teaching. Thank you. If you do like our videos, subscribe. We're also going to introduce virtual reality VR into our YouTube channel. Thank you. Goodbye.